My name's Jack. I've got 10 years real estate experience and I've been mostly working with foreclosure. So this is how to talk to a distressed homeowner. And the first thing I would do is, you're not really there to talk, you're more there to listen. And so when you walk through the property, walk through and you're just listening to their story, trying to find out if you're a fit. 95, 96% of the people, most of the people out there who are looking to sell their house. Anyway. So what you're doing is you're listening. You're doing things like, hey, what happened here? How can we help? Why did you call us? Why didn't you call a real estate agent? You could get more for the property if you put it on the market. You're saying things like that to try to suss out why you might be a good option. And chances are you're probably not a good option, but you want to find that out early on before you give them some terribly low ball offer. So when I go to the house, if they don't know I'm coming, I knock on the door and I don't immediately say, hey, I know this home's in foreclosure, or you had your water shut off for non-payment, or there's fire damage to the house, or you're recently incarcerated, or whatever the reason is I came to that house. I usually just say, hi, I'm Jack. I'm looking for off-market homes in that neighborhood. Do you know anybody who might be willing to sell for a cash offer? And they're going to say yes or no, or whatever they're going to say. And then as I'm going to leave, I can stop and say, oh, I forgot to say, sorry, would you consider selling your home for cash? And if they say yes or no or whatever, you just kind of have to go off that. Now, if they open up and they say, yes, what is your offer? What could you do? Then you're going to stop and ask them a little bit, well, how long would, when would you want to move out? Try to get time questions. In my opinion, time questions are much more valuable than property condition questions. I've seen people live in homes that are completely unlivable and to most people's standards, and they don't want to leave. They think everything's fine because they have no deadline that they have to move out. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, some people have beautiful homes, but they're paying 2 mortgages now because they moved out of state, or they're up against foreclosure and they need to sell their home, otherwise it's going to wreck their credit for 7 years. So it's time questions more so than questions about the condition of the property. Now, oftentimes the condition of the property is bad, which is why they're going with you and not a realtor. But if they need to sell quickly and maybe money is secondary to getting the deal done fast, then they might go with you. So when you're asking questions, ask leading questions that don't just have a yes or no answer. Like, when would you like to sell your home? Is there anyone who wouldn't be happy with this kind of an offer? You're finding objections and stuff like that before they come up. Sometimes also there's a decision maker that you thought you were talking to the decision maker and the decision maker is not there. So if I were to offer you something in between 200 and 250,000, is there anyone who would be upset with you for taking that offer? And then you can get to those objections before you get there. I usually like to give a ballpark offer early on in the process. Just say, hey, it's not me, but normally in these types of situations, these types of houses and this condition, cash offers, they usually go for like 200 to 240,000. Should we stop now, or is that something that you would want to continue talking about? And then listen. They may say, no, that's ridiculous. Be like, okay, and then you can exit. I mean, it's okay. Just make sure you keep following up if they did have a compelling reason to sell. Now, if they say, yeah, I think that's reasonable, then you can move on with the appointment, continue to ask questions, find out about their situation, and then make sure when you make an offer, you like the offer and that you can close on it. Thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, let me know, and be sure to follow me for more real estate and foreclosure content.